Candlepin bowling is a New England tradition and a sport enjoyed by both girls and boys of all ages. Our show brings the game to the younger generation, featuring bright futures and brighter smiles. Hosts Dan Gauthier and Rob Taylor call the action on Candlepin for Kids. Candlepin for Kids would not be made possible without its generous sponsors, Oddball Sporting Goods, Paramount Industries, and individual donators like you. To learn how to donate, go to www.cp4k.com. Candlepin for Kids. It's our oldest age group in Bowl-O-Rama in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Alongside Dan Gauthier, I'm Rob Taylor. We had some huge qualifying scores out of this age group.
I watched these guys warm up. If anybody's going to throw a double strike here, it could be either of these two gentlemen, and the women aren't far behind. I think they're already looking at the high score so far for the year at 232 and saying no problem, Rob. So it's a promise. They've made it. They got to keep it.
Well, we'll see if they can beat it. Let's meet the bowlers. The champions. A boy with a powerful first ball takes his second shot at Candlepin for Kids this season alongside a girl who's a longtime veteran of the show. It's Josh Yaratz and Dani Mansur. Challenging them, another boy who made the long 3-hour trip from the heart of Maine is joined from a girl we see at virtually every event. It's Riva and Kayla Croto. Dani Mansur on lane number 3, and away we go. Dani Mansur put up a huge 346 in the qualifying today, which I believe would have got her second on the boys' side. Did Evan beat that? He did not, 341, so Dani Mansur would have qualified on the boys' side today, and that was the second highest triple of the entire day, and the only one higher, her partner, Josh Yaratz.
Yeah, you know, Dani may have beaten Riva, but Riva has got the John Boudreau seal of approval. He said he would put $500 on Riva today winning his match.
Really?
Shocking.
Boudreau and hyperboles? I don't believe it. So quick start from our two bowlers. Dani, a veteran. Dani bowled with Jonathan Boudreau a few years back, if I remember correctly. So interesting to see Boudreau not picking his partner. Kayla threw a 305 today, and after a tough 81 string in the first one, she rebounded with a big 124, so she showed that she's able to let those bad strings out of her mind. Dani getting a solid 9. Kayla, solid 8. So pair of 9s and a pair of 8s up there. We'll see if our girls can get their feet under them. You mentioned that the target score for these teams is 232. It was Amanda Banks and Aaron Belanger who did it at our Pilgrim stop. Last month, Kylie Josefiak and Alex Hazert tossed a 210.
A little balancing act there for Kayla Croto. She almost fell over the line on that one.
That 210 was good for the second seed. We'll see if our teams can beat it today. Dani veering just left of the head pin. And Dani gets the 10, our first 10 of the match. Another 8 for Kayla.
Kayla doesn't look comfortable up there. I don't know if all of a sudden she's sticking or not. She had no problem in warm-up, just looks a little uncomfortable on the slide.
We did hear some complaints of sticking today over the course of qualifying with the approaches. See if she can get it figured out here in her second half. Kayla off again, unfortunately. Kayla's got her favorite bowler listed as Amanda Banks, who she'll be trying to beat this afternoon in the ladder. Nice try by Dani. I don't know if she wanted to put it there, but it sure gave it a good run.
If you were going to hit the wood, the cap wasn't a bad place.
So both bowlers still looking for their first marks, but they don't have anything less than an 8 so far. Dani's only left 2 pins standing. She has her proudest bowling accomplishment listed as winning the state tournament 10 times. There's a big head pin hit, but not too much to show for it. She cuts that too, though. She's got a lot of wood over there that the pin could hit.
And Kayla Croto, despite missing the head pin, has them all in a bunch on her lane.
Very true. That wood in the back should help direct it too. Gives it a shot, just missed the head pin. Dani looking for the 10. She'll settle for 8. So, a polite little match we have going so far. We'll see if our boys can spice things up a little bit.
gives me a chance to give an official shoe endorsement of the ice cream sandwiches here at Portsmouth Bowler.
Absolutely delicious. Absolutely
the
delicious.
Biggest, most delicious ice cream sandwiches I've ever had, and I find myself quite distracted by the half of an ice cream sandwich still sitting in front of me.
Homemade, and dare I say, buy one, get one free.
Wow, no wonder you got me one.
Yeah, I wasn't treating you. Evan, using that Boudreaux stamp of approval, he's all over the headpin on his first ball. Josh going to try to get it back here. He does. He's got a powerful first ball, or any ball when it hits the pin he's shooting at. In qualifying, he electrified the crowd to the tune of a 158 game. And he was converting extremely difficult splits. Then he got the strike ball working in the second half and really just put it all together.
Riva, no slouch himself with a 341, and in the warm-up boxes before this match, these two were just throwing bomb after bomb against each other. And making some pretty shots, too.
Two very formidable bowlers. We'll see if either of them can break the ice here and get that first mark under their belts. Looks like Evan left that one go a little early.
He bounced it.
Yeah. Now, interesting. Boudreaux gave Riva the stamp of approval. Josh Yaratz has his favorite pro bowler listed as Jonathan Boudreaux. I guess flattery will get you nowhere.
You just saw one of the reasons why he gave him the stamp of approval on that ball there. When he's on, the kid is really good, but Yaratz is no slouch.
No, he
has come into his own in the last 2 years.
Which is interesting, because Josh has come into his own in the past few years. He's been bowling for a long time. Evan has only been bowling 3 years, as we found out in our In the Gutter segment.
Yeah, he's got a 98 listed for his average. He looks a lot better than that from what I've seen.
And improving on a frequent basis. He did come to one of our events earlier at Pilgrim this season. And from what we've seen, he has come even a long way from just a few months.
He'd be a good partner for someone to get this year in the adult youth tournaments that go on with the 100% handicap. He's probably bowling well over the 98 pace recently.
Very true.
I mean, 341 today.
Josh runs down that single pin for the first mark of the match. Evan doing a good job pinning there. That's a big 3 pins in a box.
And
like
he had
this.
a couple of spread eagles in his practice boxes that he almost converted 2 of them. Left 1 pin both times, so he's...
Now, Josh has appeared on our show this season. He bowled in our first match, where he was partnered with Shannon O'Brien. Josh threw a 116 game in that match. So he does not falter under the pressure.
He's got himself a couple 400s already.
And his biggest accomplishment is that 183 game under his belt. It's his high single. He listed as his proudest accomplishment, and it really does jump out at you when you look at him on the score sheet. This is pretty set up if he hits it. I was going to say maybe if he doesn't, but it doesn't carry the 10.
And it wasn't even necessarily a bad place to play, given where the wood was.
Evan a couple inches off there. Josh running down that 10.
One more box for our boys, and we're going to see the Smoke the Shoe segment after commercial break. Where
we got
frequent bowler Austin LaPlante.
Austin LaPlante.
Austin has surpassed all other bowlers with the title of the most third-place finishes in our tryouts.
Unbelievable. He did it today as Josh finishes the half with a hammer.
Give us something to look forward to when we come back to see if he can complete the double strike.
Every single match. And Evan, as you mentioned, he was getting spread eagles
earlier.
Another one. This is still a big box for him. If he's able to get a 9 or a 10 out of this, he still keeps himself within 1 mark of his opponents. Or if he makes it, what a try.
That's the 3rd time we've seen on a spread eagle where he's gotten all but 1 pin. The first 2 were before we turned the cameras on when he was warming up.
Man.
Talk about a kid who's sharp on spread eagles.
And he gets his 10.
2 big 10s.
So it's a 1 mark difference as we go into the break. Smoke the Shoe is on deck. It'll be Austin LaPlante.